Every day, the people of Hope College are
leading,
discovering,
believing,
dreaming,
pursuing,
serving,
innovating,
exploring,
creating,
collaborating,
questioning,
curing.
We are finding new ways to do old things.
We are challenging the status quo
And building a legacy.
we are pursuing truth.
We are solving tomorrow's problems today.
We are thinking globally.
We are faithfully hoping.
We are celebrating victories.
This day and every day.
We are strengthened by our faith.
Bound by a shared commitment to building community.
And dedicated to providing our students with a world-class liberal arts education.
Faithful.
Welcoming, transformational.
This is Hope College.
Hi, first-year students. On behalf of the Baroque Center for Calling and Career, I'd like to welcome you to Hope College and also to this third Evening with Advising session, where we will be focusing on exploring careers and all the tools that are available for you. It's our hope that by the end of our time together tonight, you will be excited about what's available for you here at Hope, that you will also have knowledge about how to use or begin using some of those tools, and also that you may have some questions that we'd love to work through with you one-to-one. So we're really glad that you could take some time to be with us tonight. My name is Yoli Vega, and I am a senior academic and career advisor at the Baroque Center. And my journey with Hope has extended over many years. I am actually a Hope grad. I am the parent of a Hope student, and I have been a longtime staff member for many years now, and it has been a gift to be a part of the Hope College community. Tonight, when I think about the topic for our conversation, and that's really what we hope it will be, is that it's a dialogue, it's a conversation for us to hear about your questions and also for you to hear about what we offer at the center. When I think about what it means to have a journey towards deciding a major or deciding what your interests are or figuring out what your strengths are, and then how to connect that to work that's really meaningful to you, it is very much a process. And sometimes that word can be a little scary because we would like the answers right away. We'd like to have things figured out, but it really is a process, and that's okay. At the Baroque Center, that's exactly what we do. We come alongside you to help with that process, whatever that might look like for you. And it's a center whose services you can use from beginning to end. And that's why I'm really excited tonight for you to meet Amy Freehafer, who is also on our team as an academic and career advisor. She is an incredible resource. She is a wise colleague, and I'm excited for you to meet her and to hear about all the things that we offer through our center. So please join me in welcoming Amy. Amy, thanks. I'll pass it to you.
Thanks, Yoli. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're so glad that you could join us this evening. Like Yoli said, my name is Amy Freehafer, and I have worked at Hope College for going on my 9th year now. I'm a senior academic and career advisor, but what I call myself is actually I don't know what to do with my life person, because those are really the conversations that I have daily with students and even with alumni. And I think one of the reasons that I love the work that I do and feel called to do it is because I was one of those students. Like some of you may be feeling a little bit lost right now, like you don't know exactly what you want to do, and that's okay. And we're here tonight so you can get to know more of our team and feel really comfortable coming to use us right away. So I'm also a Hope alum like Yoli. I'm also a mom. And I would say most of my work is also including those two filters as I work with students. But as a Hope alum, when I first came to Hope, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was good at English, so I told everybody that I was going to major in English, just so they'd stop asking me those anxiety-producing questions. What are you going to major in? What are you going to do with your life? Over and over again. And then I took my first English class and realized that I wasn't going to major in English. So then I was back to square one. Now, I actually have a minor in English, but I found that literature and creative writing were really things that fed my soul. And I could probably use those in anything that I did, which is true. But it wasn't really what was going to drive me to a career. So I circled back to general education requirements, which we had those back in the 80s as well. And I took a sociology class and I fell in love with it and with the professor who ended up serving as my advisor. And I ended up graduating Hope with a psych-social composite because I loved both aspects of those disciplines. And so I kind of combined them and left with that. And I spent 20 years in nonprofit human service work. So doing kind of social worky type things, which I really loved. And I probably had 3 or 4 different career path changes even within that. And then later in life, found myself going back to school to get my master's in social work. And right in the middle of my master's program, fell in love with higher education. And here I am today. So one of the reasons that I love working with students and love sitting down and kind of processing the, I don't know what to do with my life question is because I was one of those people. And I've had those turning points in my life. And I think it's sort of my job to kind of share those experiences and make it a little bit easier for the rest of everybody. So I really look forward to meeting with you. It's a little strange tonight to be coming to you from virtually because I'm so used to working one-on-one or in small groups with students. And I hope I get the opportunity to meet with each and every one of you coming this fall. So tonight, what I'd like to do is a little bit more tangible conversation. I want to walk you through parts of our website. So for those of you who are still kind of thinking through or not sure what you want to do, we're going to really focus on that area tonight, kind of piggybacking off of what Alyssa talked about and then later Ryan last week. So we'll touch on some of those points, but I really hope that your takeaway this evening is understanding how to use our website and feeling comfortable reaching out to Yoli and I. So we will also talk about how you can make appointments a little bit later in my conversation. But I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you. So here we go. So this is our website. Hopefully most of you can get there through the Hope College website. But I think it's important for us to kind of show you a little bit about what this is and how you can navigate it. Because some of the language will feel strange to you. When I was a freshman, if somebody started to use the words discern, prepare, and pursue, I would not have known what that meant. So I really wanted to kind of help you guys know how to navigate this so that you can use this over the summer to kind of start figuring things out and making some steps. So we're really going to focus on this discernment page for now, and we'll touch a little bit over here and prepare. But I also just kind of want to scroll through just a bit so you can see we've got some how-to guides here. You can also see our different social media platforms, and then we'll come back to kind of this section in just a little bit. So let's start with discern. So discern is really just figuring out, right? Like it's just kind of what are the processes that we're going to take to figure out what are next steps for us. So last week, those of you who tuned in or maybe watched the recording of Ryan, he really focused on major myths and kind of helping you figure out how do you start taking steps towards figuring out what your major is. And that's what this page will do on our website. So if you're looking for some refresher and a little bit more from what Ryan talked about last week, I just encourage you to kind of read through this. The next area that I want to slide to are career assessments. We get this, Yoli and I get this question a lot. Students come in and they don't know what they want to major in or what kind of career they want to have. And they ask us about assessments because the assumption is that assessments can give us all the answers. And usually when we're anxious, we are hoping someone will give us the answers. But assessments are really just tools to help you get there. And Yoli and I are both trained to work with you on the different assessment tools that we have. And so we can help you kind of navigate those and understand how you can apply those in the process. So the first one I want to show you is what we call Strengths Quest or the Clifton Strengths Finder assessment tool. You can read a bit about it here. Now later this summer, usually in a little bit later July, you guys will receive an invitation to take strengths. We ask that all incoming first year students take the assessment. It will rank order for you 34 different one-word signature themes and give you your top 5 kind of strength areas. And we'll touch more on that throughout your time at Hope. You'll start in orientation, and then you'll see Yoli, myself, and another colleague, Shannon Scons, that one of us will be a part of your FYS class. We will come in and talk more about vocation, calling, what that means, and how strengths play into that equation. So we really find this beneficial. When I work with students, I really think of the figuring out piece as more of we really need to kind of better understand ourselves and have some insight into who we are in order to figure out where we need to go, right? The more we know about ourselves, the easier it'll be to figure out that path. So strengths is going to give us one of those ways to do that. And Yoli and I are both trained to process this with you. So after you've taken it, even if it's right away in July and August, if you want to have conversations, we're happy to do that. But we will touch on that in orientation and again in your first year seminar and later at different times throughout your curriculum. The second assessment tool is new to us here at Hope, and it's called Pathway U. We're really excited about this. We just launched it this last semester, and you may also get an invitation to this summer, but you don't actually need that invitation to take it. So if there are some of you who are listening are like, oh, I want to do this right now, this is an assessment you can do that. You'll see right here, there's a link to Pathway U. I will open that. And you will see my login information pop up because I have an account, but you'll just go to this tab here and join now, and it'll walk you through the steps to create an account. With Pathway U, it's gonna ask you to take 4 different short assessments, one on personality, one on interests, one on work preferences, and one on values. And then it uses work preferences, values, and interests, your responses to those. It puts them together and it matches careers based on your responses. So it's very much personal to you, and it will give you a large range of careers that have a strong match, a very strong match, moderate, fair, and weak. So this will help you kind of get a starting point of thinking about some different things that might actually be good fit. Also within that is when you select specific careers, you can even see different majors that Hope offers specifically that might be a good way to explore whether or not that's a career that you want to prepare for. So this is a tool right here that's available to you now. So after you get done listening to this, you can jump in and take it. Otherwise, we'll probably do a little reminder to you later in the summer after we've done strengths. So the next section I want to look at, you got introduced to last week with Ryan. So he talked about the what can I do with a major in. This is something that we create for students to help you gain some insight as you figure out majors, what might be some careers that you would be interested in. So some people, when they come to college, take a little time to figure out what major they want to do, but they might have more of an idea around career. Others have an idea of what major they would like to have, but not sure what kind of careers they can do, what they can do with that. So this tool can kind of help you with that. So we have different pages for each of our different majors here at Hope. A couple of them are combined. You can see a combined one here because they have a lot of overlap and similarities. I'm going to select psychology. So once you select one of these, it will pull up a PDF so that you can see that. On the left-hand side here, this information comes from a national organization. So these are different career options across the country that this organization presents to colleges and universities. We have also then partnered with the different departments on campus to ask them what are some of the resources in terms of websites that students might want to visit in order to learn more about different career options. So you can see here, there's a wide range of websites that you can go to learn more about some different career areas. Now, my favorite part of this tool, because there are only 2 pages, so it's really user-friendly, is actually this one here. So every 2 to 3 years, we actually update this page. So these are actually Hope College graduates that left with a psychology major that have gone out into the world of work. And now you have additions to your original list of these are some of the career paths that people have chosen, their job titles, but now you get a second list of places where they actually have gone to work. So now you've got a couple of things that you can start to explore with, right? Career titles and what did those people do? Or these are some different organizations that you might be interested in working in. So they give you 2 different options, but Now we're going to step to a different resource that's done by the Department of Labor. It's called the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And you can see a lot of psychology majors will go on to be occupational therapists. At Hope College, psychology and exercise science are the two most common majors that students have to go into this field and prepare for graduate school. We're going to now look at the Occupational Outlook Handbook, so you have a chance to explore. So I love this website because it's very user-friendly. It doesn't take you very long to get the hang of it. When Yoli and I are working with students, we often start here as a place to help you kind of learn more about careers. So you don't have to create an account. You don't have to log in. All you have to do is go to this website. You can see at the top here, even if you just Google OOH, it will bring this up as the first option. So at the Occupational Outlook Handbook, they basically have thousands of jobs in here where all they've done is provide you with a lot of information to learn more about what they do. So they're not trying to sell you. Nobody gets to advertise in here, nothing like that. It's simply just to learn. So you can search different ways. Now I could come down here and alphabetically search for under O for occupational therapy, or if I'm somebody who's interested in that, but maybe some other healthcare, I'd like to know what some other healthcare options are, we can actually go over here to these different occupational groups. So occupational therapy is a healthcare related field. So I often recommend that students start here so they can see what are some of the other paths that they could follow along with occupational therapy that might be in healthcare besides being a physician's assistant or a doctor or a dentist, some of the common things that we know. So this is actually one of the largest groups on the website. Now I'm going to scroll down to occupational therapy to stay with that theme. There we go. And you can see when I land on it, it gives me a brief description. It tells me what kind of degree. I will tell you that with occupational therapy, it is transitioning to a doctoral degree, but usually those are 3-year programs. And then for fun, they also give you median pay. But if we select this, we now get a lot more information about this field. And every time you select a specific career, it will give you the same look. So you'll always get these same tabs here, and you'll also get the summary box here. So I always encourage students to start here. While it's great to say, oh, wow, median pay was almost $85,000 a year. That'd be awesome. I think what's more important is looking at some of the other statistics here. I think it's helpful to know what kind of degree it is. And again, this field is transitioning. But I think the other thing that's really nice about this website, or that I appreciate, is that look how up to date this information is. So this is based on 2019 in data, and we are only halfway through 2020. So that's really current. I think it's really important to kind of look over here. So again, we still have really current data from 2018. There are 133,000 occupational therapists in the country. And what I love is this predictor here. So what they've done is they said from 2018 forward, in the next 10 years, this is how many more careers they plan on adding to that field. So while the percentage doesn't always mean a whole lot to you and I, it's these descriptors. So we have slower than average, average, faster than average, and much faster than average. So obviously a field that's growing much faster than average has a lot more opportunities for you. And there are a lot of careers out there. So don't think because this field is that you need to now become an occupational therapist. There's a lot of different careers that you'll find in here that will have this same kind of disclaimer. And even if it's got average growth, that doesn't mean you shouldn't go into it. It's just important to know whether there's growth in the field and more opportunity for you, especially when you're looking at a variety of things to choose from. So I'll just show you a couple more things and then we'll jump back to the Borchter page. So one of the things that I always like to show students is that you can actually see through this platform where the concentration is even throughout the country. So there's a ton of information in here, but I always think this is kind of fun. So if you're from Michigan and you've always wanted to live in California and you're thinking about occupational therapy, that's actually a good thing because you can see the darker the color, the more you have of that career within the state. So the darker the green, the more jobs there are available. So you can see if you were someone going out to relocate in California as an occupational therapist, you're probably going to have a good opportunity to do that. Now you can also see over here, we have a white state. That doesn't mean that nothing's present. It just means that the state didn't report. So as we kind of get back to that other page, there's one more area that I think is fun. So if you're like, well, this is great, but I wonder what else is really similar to occupational therapy. That other group that we started with was really large. How do I narrow that? So you can go to similar occupations. So now they've given you some things that they feel are very close to occupational therapy, and we've narrowed down the list a little bit. So it's a way to kind of drill down further into things that you have an interest in. So this is something that Yoli and I use regularly and find it really helpful to students. I like to think of it as kind of one of those magical tools that will give you a lot of information to help you with your decisions. And this is something that a lot of times students will come back to us and talk about as they've narrowed down and talk through what some of those career paths are and what might be some optional majors for them. So as we head back to the Borchter website, I want to kind of jump down a little bit more into the prepare section. So some of you out there might have some ideas around what you want to major in or what kind of career you want to do. And so another area that we encourage a lot of incoming first year students to look at is our Discover Work program. So this is a program specifically designed for first and second year students, although juniors and seniors may also apply. You can apply for up to 2 different opportunities, and what this is an extended job shadow. So a lot of times if you've had an opportunity, some of you may have shadowed someone in their place of employment, it's probably only been for a couple of hours. A lot of times with the Discover Work opportunities, these can be done for even a few days at a time. So as an alumni working in higher education, I've hosted students through the Discover Work program where I will give them a week, so 5 working days, where they can come spend time with me on and off. Now what we do is we just have you fill out a simple application. You can see all the information is here with links into more information around that. You will get an email typically in September announcing this program is up and running and that you can apply and how to do that. So we will send you things in your email that we really think are important for you, and this is one of those. But that's why I really wanted to highlight this, because this is a great opportunity. I've had so many students say, you know, I went and observed something that I really thought I wanted to do, and it was so different than what I thought that it's actually not what I want to do. So this was really helpful because now I know to focus my energies in a different way. Or I've had students say, yes, this solidified for me. I really want to be an engineer. I'm so excited. I didn't know I could do all these different things. Either way, you don't have to know what you want to do. You just have to go to the list that we'll send you a link to and look for things that sound interesting, sound like something you might like to do, because any shadowing opportunity that you can do will really help you in the process. And folks like Yoli and myself and my colleagues at the Borchter Center, we can help you understand how the information that you learn and how it's going to apply as you start to figure out major and career discernment. So one of the last places that I really want to take you to, and this part I'm a bit excited about because I'm not typically talking about our Handshake platform a lot, but I get to do that tonight. So one of the biggest takeaways I wanted you to have going into the summer is, besides that you know how to use some of the resources on our website and hopefully find it, how do you make an appointment with us? So the way to do that is through the link that I just showed you. And it's going to take me right into my Handshake account because I was there recently. And it will look a little bit different for you. Now, Handshake is our platform where all our on and off campus jobs, full, part-time, and internships are located. This is a wonderful tool. Everything is right in one place. We also, as you can see here, post all of our events here. So anything that our office is running is going to be here, so you can find it really easily. So this is a tool that I really want you to get to use. You guys are already loaded as first year students coming in the fall. You're already in here. So your information will be very limited. And so when you log in, you'll get a different look than what I have here because I've already completed or at least put more information into my pretend student account. But it'll ask you some questions. It'll take you 3 to 5 minutes to finish. And I encourage everybody to do that this summer. And that way you can log in and you can actually make an appointment with us. So all of our appointments are scheduled through Handshake. So again, this is a wonderful tool that kind of all students will want to use in a wide range of ways. So one of the reasons that I like this tool, had I had this as a student, is I like things that work for me, and Handshake works for you. So once you've gone in and you've put more information into your profile, you can tell it what kinds of things you want to look for. And once we're up and running, we typically will see it anywhere from 40 to 60 new opportunities going into Handshake a day. Now, it's a little bit slower right now, but we see that rebounding and we're going to get back to where we were. But every day we're getting new things. And if you do more work on your profile, and you put more of your information and you start telling it what kinds of things you're looking for, it will search those so that when you log in the next time, it will start pulling up new opportunities that you haven't seen. So again, I love things that work for me, and this is one of those tools. The other piece to this is that there are tens of thousands of jobs in here, and I've been at Hope now for over 8 years. And when we first started, we didn't have this tool, and we had a very limited number of careers and internships that we could offer to students, probably more like the 300 range, outside of other things that we would pick up on. But when we joined Handshake, because so many other colleges and universities are a part of this platform and use this platform, and their employers use this platform, it means colleges like Hope can now make things available to our students that we never could before, because it's very easy for employers to come in and ask to recruit to our students. The other thing that's really cool about this versus some of the other platforms that you job seek on is that we vet everything in here. So that means that somebody from our office looks at every opportunity that comes into the system so that we make sure that we're trying to provide you with the best internship and job opportunities possible. If you're looking for on-campus jobs, this is where you'll see that too throughout your time at Hope. So just a little bit of background about Handshake. And now I kind of want to walk you through, because this is the part I'm most excited about, is Yoli and I are really hoping that everybody that's watching and everybody that watches this video decides that we are fabulous enough that you want to make an appointment with us. So to make an appointment, you log into Handshake. You can find it again on our website. You're already in here. You'll just need to complete a little bit of your profile to be able to get here. And I went to the Career Center, and then we go to appointments. And now here, if I had appointments scheduled, you'd be able to see them. And if I'd participated in some, you'd see those too. But I want to schedule a new appointment. So I'm going to select, I'm a first-year student, and I want to talk about figuring out my major. So that because Yoli and I both do that, you can see that this week on Thursday, it always pulls up the week that you're in, that Yoli still has a time available to do this conversation. Now, if we scroll to the next week, and we give it a few minutes, maybe. Let's see. Sometimes technology is wonderful, sometimes not. Oh, it's going to jump me back. So let's get there again. Here we go. Sorry, it was actually me, not technology. I just needed to highlight one of the days of next week. So now you can see there's all kinds of opportunities to be able to schedule appointments. So you can see next week, Tuesday, Yoli has a ton of different time. If we look at Wednesday, you'll be able to see that I have them as well. So what happens is that you can go in and select an appointment. So I actually made it with myself. And now you can leave me a note. You can say, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I really need help. I'm not even sure what questions to ask. Put that right in here. Like, we want you to be candid and honest. Share anything that you can with us about what you're looking for. Or, I think this is what I want to do, but I don't know very much about it. I'm not sure how to learn more, things like that. So give us as much as you can, and then it's going to ask you, because we are all working virtually, it'll ask you your preferred way to be able to have us communicate with you and do a virtual appointment, and then some other questions as you move through that. But I just wanted you to be able to see how you go about making an appointment. So you go to your Handshake account, you'll complete a little bit more of it. It'll give you that login page that I showed you right from the get-go. And then it'll give you the option to actually select appointments and then schedule a new one. And we really are hoping to see all of you. Our goal tonight was really to help you navigate our website and know what that looks like. Sorry, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here a second. and for you to get to know us, because we really do want to interact with you. A lot of times when people hear career in a title, they think that's not something for them until junior or senior year, but we actually want to partner with you right now. Yoli and I are interested in getting to know you and walking alongside you, and really want you to hear that you're not in this alone, that we will walk alongside you till you kind of kick us off your team. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Yoli and for some closing remarks and see if we've got any questions. Yoli?
Thanks so much, Amy, for sharing more about the Borchter Center and the website and all of the tools that we have available for students to use. We're really excited for you to come and meet with us, as Amy said, whether that's in person when we're there in the fall or virtually over the course of the summer. Know that that invitation is there for you, and we are super excited to make that connection. Amy, I have a question for you. As students hear what we have to offer and they're thinking about, they make that appointment and maybe they're wondering, how many times can I use the Borchter Center? How many times does that ever run out? Like, will you stop me from coming in? Like, how often can I use the resources that are available there?
Great question. So you can come as often as you'd like and as many times as you like. We call those frequent flyers. I love frequent flyers. I even have some alumni that even do touch bases with me on resume, cover letters, or just even life updates as they transition. So we want to see you soon and we want to see you often because there's so much we can offer.
Great. And I think one additional piece, as students may remember, that their registration surveys are due next week on Wednesday, June 24. Those registration surveys are due. So what if someone is feeling like, I don't know my major yet, I'm not sure how to register for the fall? What kind of advice would you have for them as they think about this next week where they might be finishing up that survey?
So I think Alyssa gave you some really great advice. I listened 2 weeks ago, and look at some of the disciplines that are of interest to you. Like, to me, back to my story. I took English and I realized I didn't want to major in it, so I took a sociology class. It was a general education requirement, so it was kind of fulfilling that. But it also helped me explore. So I think if you really don't have an idea and there were some disciplines that you really loved in high school or something that you've seen on the list that we've provided you, like, jump right in and take that. Now is actually the time to explore. I would say students often get really worried about completing general education requirements. I hear that all the time. I know Yoli does too. But you don't need to. We're going to work those in. They'll create balance in your schedule, but they're really meant to help you explore different things. So right now, I would say the most important thing is to just look at some classes that are really of strong interest to you and go explore those, because that'll help you rule in and rule out.
Great. And what about for the students who do say, I know my major, and they've seen the different resources that you've highlighted tonight? How else can the Borchter come alongside them? What would be those reminders that you'd like them to have with them?
There we go. Am I back on? Okay, sorry about that. So for those of you who already have some direction, you saw me kind of shift over to the prepare section within our website. I would say leaning into that section is a really good idea. Think about job shadowing. Definitely take classes in the discipline that you're interested in. You can always email advising at hope.edu if you're not sure which classes you need to get started with some of those. There's a lot of different things that we can help you with. I also think that if you're wanting to kind of get started on some other things and you feel like you've got direction, working on a resume, and you saw the handouts that we have for that. I think those are some of the ways that you can get started, as well as you heard me talk about like Handshake. Go in there and explore that. Add more to your profile so that it starts to get complete and helps you kind of look for things. Would you add anything else, Yoli?
I think you covered it. I think the only part that I would add is I love these two words, because they do really go together. We would love to see you early and frequently, as often as Amy said, that you would like to access the services. They are available in there for you. So remember that, come early, come frequently. We are excited to walk this journey with you. So as we close out tonight, we just want to share a couple of the reminders. Again, your registration surveys are due on the 24th, and then also on the 23rd, you will be receiving, I get so excited, so you will be receiving more information about a special event for first-year students called Welcoming You to Hope. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be next Tuesday, June 23 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, watch your email and you'll get more information about that. We really appreciate your time. It is a gift. We understand that, and we are excited to meet you in person in the fall and virtually anytime this summer and beyond. So thanks again for your time. Thanks again for joining us tonight, and we wish you a great summer. We'll see you soon.